Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading is for Wednesday, October 21st. Okay, so whatever it is that we need to know in order to evolve and come into alignment with our higher selves, highest selves, in the laws of love, all that good stuff. Okay, so, justice, well, there you go. I could probably stop the reading right here. Oh, but Seven of Wands and the Moon reversed. Okay, so with the Seven of Wands as the theme, being that it's the center card, the Seven of Wands has to do with having healthy boundaries, sometimes needing to take a stand in order to reassess your position. And because it's coupled with justice, Lady Justice is all about the law of cause and effect. Now there's man-made justice, and then there's spiritual law that is it's ultimate justice, but you have to look at it from the realm of spiritual law, which means that the laws are very expanded and very flexible. It's not the type of thing where it's finite, like the way it's written in man-made laws. It's written down. It's confined. With spiritual justice, we're coming from a realm where it's different for each person. Not that the laws of love are different for each person, but just what we may see as being just or compensated, or the consequences coming through. We, as humans, most likely when we're observing other people, like especially these political times that we're going through, we all want justice. We know there was cheating. We know that there's been abuses that have been horrendous, especially when we think about, the kids at the border, and we think about the children that have been separated, and we think about the parents and the mothers who have had hysterectomies. So things are just awful when we look at it from just that perspective. But it's never, ever, ever right to just say, oh, well, it's that person's karma. Because that's not how it works. It's not that limited in scope. It's much more flexible with each person's soul and higher self and life task. And so what is important to remember is that we won't see, most likely, hardly ever, will we see justice just come down in one lifetime. And so we need to step back and take the bigger perspective. With the moon straight up, that is a huge perspective. And we need to take that big perspective and, just to hands off with it, to get to the place where whatever is... whatever needs to happen for the soul to grow back into connection with its highest self will happen little by little, incrementally in each lifetime. And we're not the ones that can know what exactly that means between that person and their creator. We have to just kind of step back. So while that's true, what also is true is that we do need to, fall into alignment with what is just and what is fair and we need to hold space for equality for everyone. Anytime a human being puts themselves in the position of superiority, such as, like intellectual superiority, spiritual superiority, emotional superiority, like, with manipulation, things like that. Any type of the need to be above someone else, well, we're just in our pride. And then with what happens with our pride is that it's unhealthy pride. There is healthy pride, like when you're proud of your children, or you're proud of your friends, and you're proud for each other of your accomplishments. That's different. We can even be proud of looking at the beauty of nature and how it grows, and to be a part of that is, but pride, when it's unhealthy, puts us in the realm of either better than or less than. And that's a dualistic issue that we're needing to rise above. And we do have to protect ourselves from that. And because, in the sequential, in the order of the 6 to the 7 of Wands, with the 6 of Wands, there is public recognition. There is a type of being seen. And if we go into the realm of being, like putting ourselves above, putting ourselves on a pedestal, which is not really what I see here, but just to address this issue, because we do have the Justice card here, what we need to do is to be careful, to not put ourselves on pedestals or to allow anyone else to do that, because, when they do that, they'll just knock you off later on. It's just, and it's a very human, it's just, it's a human thing that we do. And so your love is really your only protection. Yes, of course, you can put yourself in a pink bubble. Yes, of course, you can move yourself away from negativity and just go with the positive. But to do that means that you have to get yourself in the state of love, because it's not just a mental thing. With the wands here, and especially with the moon here, it's the reminder that it needs to be an emotional experience, a feeling experience, where you feel the love state and you put the love back out there. Even if something unjust came towards you, just know that it's okay. You know what is just and fair and right deep down inside, because that's who, we each truly are. And you know that balanced state. And so sometimes you do need to rise above that, but then still do your best to come back into the love state, and don't make yourself better than the person who did whatever they did. Because deep in our cores, we're all the same love. Now, granted, there are many souls out there who have a tremendous amount of crusty, substance around their souls, and their light doesn't shine through. And it can be really hard to see, and maybe even impossible to see, the beauty, the truth, and the love of who they really are, because it's so shrouded. So if that's the case, it's okay. You just move on. Now, with the, send them love and light and move on. But with the moon reversed here, well, this is where you can release a lot of fear. You can rise above it. You can get out of that, paranoia. You can move through the dark night of the soul, which is what this card is all about when it's reversed. And we do that by honoring, let me get the glare off here. See how, there. Well, sorry. See how there are two wolves here? So one represents the conscious and the other represents the unconscious. So as we work to clear out the unconscious, because maybe we had these feelings that would come up and we weren't consciously aware of them before. And when they keep coming up, then it's a gift to clear it and to get back into that loving place. And that's what the moon is all about. The moon is about diving in and not getting bogged down by the unconscious emotions, actually rising above literally rising above, and just to allow yourself to be okay with, well, sometimes I have those feelings, but I can get right back to the center, right back to the balanced place of love and fairness and equality, and I don't need to put myself above anyone else, because that's just not true. That's not deep down inside the way we are, but we can be more evolved than others. That just doesn't mean that we're better. We can be smarter than others in some area of our lives, but that doesn't mean that we're better than them. We can be more emotionally sensitive and caring than others seem to be, but that doesn't mean that we're better than them. That's the key takeaway I see here. So I think that's probably all I really need to say about this, because I get strongly that that's the message. So let me move these cards up and draw from our Spirit Animal Oracle and see if there's one little extra piece. So surrendering. So surrender to the now. It says surrender now, right now. Gotta surrender now. Like the moth to the flame. Well, once you surrender into the now moment, then there's another now, and then another now, and then another. And when you keep getting into the now, well, there's another one that just keeps following and following. So I feel like it has to do with surrendering to the fact that we're human, and we do have our foibles, but we're not better than anyone else. And along with the surrender into the present moment, taking the leap of faith here with the grasshopper, we can trust that the laws of love are holding us, and that we can make mistakes. Yeah, and we can still let our spirit shine. Just because we make mistakes with each other, or just because we have maybe judged someone else harshly, or they have judged us harshly, that doesn't mean that we can't forgive and just let it go. And just let it go. Because when we do that, then of course there is all that bright light shining. Actually, I guess it's this way, but I really was wanting to focus in on the peacock there, to just let your light shine, just to truly let your light shine and let the rest go. And know that we will, as humans, we will be drawn back and forth, into this dualistic place where we think that either we're good and they're bad, or we're bad and they're good, instead of remembering that it's and. Sometimes we're good and sometimes we're bad. But just because you have those moments when you're bad, that doesn't mean that you're really bad. It just means, oh, we had a negative thought, oh, we got huffy, oh, we said the wrong thing, and we can surrender to that, and then know that we're held in this web of love, and come back into that and let that shine. I think it's deciding on what it is that you want to shine. Do we want to shine our unconscious fears, or do we want to surrender? Just surrender to the truth that we're here as humans and emotional beings, and we have pure feelings that can flow through us, and we have emotional reactions that can also come into play. When the emotional reactions come in, it's material from the past. So that's the important thing to remember here, is that when past material comes in, it just, accept it and be with it, but you can transform it in the moment. And that's what helps bring in all the beautiful love. You can surrender to it, know that it's not in alignment with the laws of love and truth, and which are one, And love and truth is the same. And then you can rise above yourself, the small self, and you can get in touch with your higher self and let that shine. So that's how we make win-win situations with life. And that's how whatever is painful in the past can turn into something beautiful in the future. So, okay. Well, I thank you for listening, and that's all I have for today. Okay, you guys, take good care. Bye.